StarCast is proudly sponsored by DoghouseSystems.com. If you use the code StarCast or Biscuit at checkout, you will get double memory on your next Doghouse system. We thank DoghouseSystems.com for their support of StarCast. Additional support for today's episode comes from GameChangersTheMovie.com, LightweightRPG.com, and SC2QuoteOfTheDay.com. Coming up next week on episode 97 on April 4th, 2012, our guest for the day will be Robert King Octavius Ring, author of The Year in StarCraft 2, 2011. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy episode 96 of StarCast, the StarCraft podcast.
Yeah, it's about damn time for StarCast.
Incoming transmission.
Biscuit.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of StarCast, the StarCraft podcast. This is episode 96. I am your host, Garrett Weinzierl, and with me, as always, is Kyle Ferguson. Kyle, I'm a little under the weather, so I'm assuming you're either in the deepest pits since you were sick at MLG, or you are better. Which is it?
I am doing much better, luckily. I did pull through MLG, of course. I mean, all I had to do was, sit there and maybe talk to people and talk about StarCraft. It wasn't that big of a deal. Luckily, yesterday I had nothing to do. First of all, let me just say, MLG was amazing. Thank you to everyone who came by and said hello. It was a delight getting to hang out with you guys in person and on Twitter. And, got to go there with Kristen as well, and she was a big Huck fan for it. Started playing Protoss herself. In fact, I got to unleash a lovely gem when she said, I'm going to start playing Protoss, by saying, if you start streaming, I bet you'll have a lot of stalkers.
Oh,
yes.
Zinger.
Yes,
well,
indeed.
Speaking of, all the wonderful people that we finally had a chance to meet in person, one of them is with us today as our guest host. LivinPink is here. How are you doing, LivinPink? It was awesome actually getting to meet you as opposed to seeing a pixelated version through a webcam. Oh, I think her mic is muted.
Yes.
There it is.
It was
How you
really
doing?
Nice.
Well,
I'm doing
welcome to the world of audio transmission.
It was really nice meeting you too, and I'm doing really well. Kind of tired, but I'll get over it.
Now, I've heard that there's some misconceptions on our video here, and I think both LivinPink and myself need to take our cameras down to a lower level and angle them up, because LivinPink, you're quite tall. I was quite surprised. I mean, I wasn't surprised at myself being tall. I'm me, and I look in the mirror.
I was surprised at you.
Yeah, it's funny because, I was I think the first one on the scene, well, next to Patrick, and Patrick picked me up from the airport. He goes, wow, you are taller than I expected. I was like, dude, wait till you see Kyle. Take me and just stretch me out, but add no more weight. That is what Kyle looks like. So, Kyle, you are a tall man, and I agree, LivinPink, you're much taller than I expected. So.
Yeah, I'm 5'10", so.
So.
Oh.
Anyways, before we get into the meat of the show, as we usually do, talking about all the news and the esports and whatnot, let's talk about MLG Columbus, because there was so much, and anyone who follows me on Facebook or Twitter today probably saw me write, hey, I'm trying to compose my thoughts, because I don't know where to start. There's so much to talk about. You can talk about the awesome games, we can talk about all the awesome people we met, or we can talk about what a good dancer Clutch is. So
yeah, it's really good.
Yeah. So I guess let's go around the table. Day one, we all get there, we walk in. What were your guys' first impression? LivinPink, what was your first impression as you walked through the gates?
Well, actually, I thought that it was really close to what I saw in Providence. Like, even the convention center was really similar. And there was much more people than I expected this time, because I thought it was a smaller one since it wasn't the finals, like in Providence.
Yes.
And, well, the first people I saw was Flo and Naniwa, so I was pretty hyped about that. I hadn't seen Flo in a little while, and I was really glad to finally see everyone, meet some more of the girls of StarCraft, and see you guys and everyone.
Yeah, it was awesome. The first person I saw walking in was Sundance DiGiovanni, so I was like, oh wow, okay. You're just hanging out. I figured he'd be We're surrounded by like MLG guards with MLG taser guns and behind a wall somewhere, not just like chilling by one of the computers. So I went up to him and say hi, and then I bumped into Brandy from or Brightside, as a lot of the girls of StarCraft know her. She was actually the first person to recognize me. I was like, oh, hey, nice to meet you.
Oh, yes. Because us nerds are such rambunctious people. First of all, I can use this excuse to show off my lovely DRG sign I made. I drew him as a Hydralisk with rim glasses. And at one point, I walked up and got it signed by him.
Oh, that's really cute.
So, and he was like, oh, nice. And he wrote nice right there in English for me. But while I'm standing in line, the line isn't so much a line as it or needed to be directed by a group of people or bouncers or something, as it was a number of nerds shuffling and kicking their feet lazily as they were too embarrassed to approach this man. I mean, you don't really need to corral nerds. We corral ourselves. We're pretty intellectual and introverted.
Yeah, it was funny because I did the same thing. You can kind of see behind me. Oh no, it's kind of hidden. I would get up, but I may be recording in my pajamas, and I don't really want everyone to see. Yeah, I made a Marine King sign. I had a Marine King sign it, and when I went up, it was funny. It was right after he knocked DRG out of the winners bracket on day 3, and he just like ran off stage like, get away from the fans. I was like, crap, because I'd been trying to get him the sign Dan thing all weekend, but then I finally got him. I tracked him down. I out-microed Marine King on the convention floor. So that was fun.
I would have to say, for first impressions, Halo was representing.
Yes, they were. I was really surprised because you and I both went to MLG Orlando, and it didn't seem like Halo really was that big of a deal. I mean, it was there, they were playing it, but there weren't a lot of people watching.
Yeah, and it was still kind of in that, let's get everyone excited. Can I hear you out there? I mean, nothing's worse than when you're listening to a caster or a head of an event have to say, can you do it louder? Or are you really there? I can barely hear you. Like, that stuff's just cheesy. But no, they were actually getting quite rambunctious next to us. In fact, I bet there was a number of times when people watching the stream at home thought, what's going on? Did I just miss something awesome? Did DTs go down? Oh, no, that's just Halo going nuts.
That's just Halo. Someone just scored a sick headshot, no scope, with the sniper rifle across the arena. So
also, the fighting games were actually really cool. I mean, of course, my problem watching fighting games is you can see them, some of them, not in the higher, qualifiers or whatever, because they know their combos down. But in the lower ones, you can see them trying to like shoot fireballs by doing like a double down B or whatever. And all you see is a bunch of people just kind of standing there like squatting up and down.
That is so true.
Yes, it is. Towards the day 3 though, anytime we were at the beginning of a StarCraft match and it was just watching SCV's mine, I totally was just like, all right, I'm going to turn to the left now and watch Mortal Kombat. Holy crap, that is really entertaining. And then StarCraft would start to pick up and I'd come back and be like, okay, day 9 says there's something to look at, so let's watch. But yeah, I've never seen fighters played in a tournament setting, and I thought it was really entertaining. And I might start following it a little more, especially Mortal Kombat, because I like the game already, and seeing some of those guys, how fast they are, it's ridiculous.
It was interesting. Oh, go for it, LivinPink.
I was going to say, I'm really curious about fighting games like the scene, because I've played them, obviously, but I never really watched any, I don't know if they're streaming it or something in tournaments, but it would be really interesting to see, people, how they do combos and stuff. I don't know, when the strategy come into play, because for me it's pretty much button mashing.
Yeah, same here. The only fighter I know how to play is Super Smash Brothers, and that's just because I'm cheap as hell with Pit and Link. So,
yeah, I understand breakers, so there's some strategy involved in it, but certainly the higher level play was most interesting to watch, and they had a number of ones there: Soul Calibur, King of Fighters, Mortal Kombat, and one other was Street Fighter.
Those were the main 3. Those were the ones that were on the fighting stage. So I think they had some random stuff going on in between. They had an Uncharted 3 tournament going on that showed up on the screen for a very brief moment. I guess time.
That's one of those what you call a forced esport. I mean,
it was just an open tournament that they were having for the fans. Like, if you and I had gotten bored enough, which, how could we? How many times did Marine King and DRG play? It was impossible to be bored. But you could just walk over, grab a PS3, and get in on the Uncharted tournament, which I thought was kind of cool. Because that was something we had said at Orlando, that we thought they needed a little more for the crowd to do, if they got a little burnt out on just watching games. So I thought it was neat that they had a couple pits where you could go and play. I would still like a big PC pit where I can go in and play StarCraft, because if there's one thing MLG makes me want to do, it's play StarCraft, and I have to sit there for 3 days not being able to play. So they had like 6 computers over by Dr. Pepper, but that was about it, and they were always full.
I would say for me, I'm kind of in a vacation mindset, and I feel like they really need to fill that convention center with shops, because I'd spend money. I mean, we all spend money getting MLG T-shirts. They had a Full Sail booth there, which, that's cool. That relates at least. And, the experience phone play and all that sort of thing. But it could have been filled with more nerd shops like Jinx. Why aren't they there? It seems like there's some missed opportunities.
I'm very surprised that Jinx isn't more in with the MLG culture, because they sell all of Day 9's swag. Like Day 9 and all the shirts, that's through Jinx, so I'm really surprised that they don't get in more on the esports scene. Jinx, if you're listening, if you want to sell StarCast shirts, you can contact me at garrettillustration@gmail.com, so get on that. Sorry, back to your thought, Kyle.
Oh, that was it? I just wanted to ask you guys what you thought was maybe a missed opportunity there.
Yeah, I think Jinx is definitely one of them. It's one of the best shirts. And are you talking? I'm not hearing you.
Nope.
Oh, okay. Sorry, your webcam is really weird sometimes. Yeah, I don't know about other stuff. Oh yeah, I think they're missing girls' gear for sure. Like, all the girls wanted gear and there wasn't anything. There was like 2 shirts in small, and that was it. Yeah. Corin grabbed it.
Yeah, I hear a lot of complaints that, like, the female shirts, they're just plain shirts but smaller. They're not actually made for females. Or not to look good anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was lucky. I scored a small EG jersey from Sir Scoots because I called him an old bastard, so Katie's been running around the house sporting that because it sure as hell isn't going to fit me.
Yeah, he gave me a hoodie. I was really happy. But it's a large one, so I look kind of silly in it, but it's okay.
Oh, that's a good for lounging around the house when it's cold, though. Hoodies are expensive, too, so that's badass that you scored a hoodie.
He felt bad for not having any more shirts. So he was like, oh, just take this hoodie.
Nice. Well, the one thing I got to say I was definitely impressed with when I walked in was the chair situation. Mm-hmm. There had to be 4 times as many chairs as there were at MLG Orlando, which was the last one I attended. So I'm not sure. You went to Providence. How was it in comparison to Providence, LivinPink?
It was much better. In Providence, we had really difficult time finding seats. We had to get up at like 10 and like never leave our chairs because there was so many people standing up. And this time it was really good. I didn't see that many people standing up like that didn't want to be up and move around. And well, I had a press pass too, so it was really sweet being able to like get up and come back in the front.
I got one too. I never used it though because I was Kyle or Patrick were always saving seats, and I wanted to sit by the StarCast guys. So I was like, oh, okay. I had never had a reason to go up front. Although it was tempting because multiple times I'm like, oh, there's an extra seat next to Idra. I kind of just want to sit next to him and hear his thought on the game. But no, I very rarely get to see Kyle or Pat. I've never seen Patrick before. This is my first time seeing him in person. So it was I'm sticking with my boys. So now. Competing, LivinPink, you actually competed in the Open, correct? In the Open
Yes,
bracket?
I did. Yes.
So how was your first day of competition? Now you had a bit of a flight.
Yeah, I was really tired, and I hadn't slept for like 24 hours because my flight was during the night. But yeah, and I wasn't lucky. I've been matched with the top master player. It was a Terran, so actually I think I gave it a good fight. But he obviously won the 2 games. I'm still having regrets on the second one for not cheating him because he went really greedy. And I was like, oh, I should do like a 6 racks all in with like my SCVs and stuff. And if I did it, I would definitely have won that game.
Oh, what a shame.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I choked. I just went back to my standard TVT build.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so you ended up actually missing day 2, correct? Because you were so tired?
Yeah, and everybody hated me on Twitter for it.
I mean, I can understand. Like, we talked briefly at the convention, but, I mean, you have to weigh it. It's like, do I get up early, go compete, don't know how far I'll get, and probably hate the rest of the weekend, or do I sleep in so I can actually enjoy MLG? And I opted for the same thing. Granted, I wasn't competing, but I missed lunch with Patrick and Kyle so many times over the weekend because I was like, dudes, I'm just going to sleep. I'm freaking tired. I'll see you later.
Yeah, I think sleeping was the right choice because I felt much better after, and I went for interviews, and I don't think they would have been good if I was, like, zombie mode. So I could bring in, like... Yeah?
I was going to say, interviews go so well when your eyes are closed. Come on.
Hi, how are you feeling today?
So anyway, as we get to the end of MLG on day 3, what was everyone's experience by then? I mean, I was really sad to see Huck go.
Yeah, the pool of players we saw come to the main stage was actually pretty small, and it was all people you kind of expected to see there. Right. It really it brings to light an interesting question that's been posed to this show in the past. Back when we went to MLG Orlando, we brought with us a player, Dirt McGirt. He was selected out of a tournament that we ran to find a good player to take to MLG as a sort of experimentate, to see what it's like for a player to be in that open pool. It was a great opportunity for him and for us to learn about the system. And in the end, we were posed the question, why does this matter? Does it really matter that you came all this way to play at MLG when no matter what you do, there is going to be someone with more skill than you? There are going to be Koreans at MLG. Should American teams even play at MLG? And at least watching the main stage, for the most part, in this one, in the past when I went to Orlando, I was very much up and about and checking in with the open pool a lot and making sure, what's going on at game table 1 and 2 and, looking over people's shoulders. This time I pretty much watched the main stage. And it was a limited amount of players. And it brings to light that maybe some teams are more about the franchise or, the attention or the sponsors rather than actually going there to win.
I would agree with that. Yeah, I mean, you definitely get a much better... I think you get a much better MLG experience if you're worried about games if you stay home and watch the streams. Because you can just bam, 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 switch streams constantly, willy-nilly.
That is true.
But by no means would I say don't go to MLG, because in person it's just so much damn fun. Now, Kyle, you probably wouldn't agree with me because, well, you wussed out and didn't go to the after party on Sunday.
Oh boy, hang on there. Hang on. I was ill, sir. First of all, I heard the party was ill.
You missed out. You missed out so much.
I was really sick.
Yeah,
dude, I would have enjoyed it.
I didn't get to talk to you much, LivinPink, at the party, but Brightside was actually making fun of me. She's like, "Oh, how you doing?" I said, "This is so not what I expected." She's like, "What, you've never been to an MLG after party?" I'm like, "No, this is like the kind of shit you see in movies." And you're like, "Parties aren't
so crazy.
Parties like that don't happen." Apparently, and they happen at freaking video game competitions.
This is so awesome.
Yeah, it's the kind of thing I expected, like, Vin Diesel to go to in a Fast and the Furious movie. All they were missing were, like, weird, I don't even know, like, freaking tuner cars in the building.
Well, there was probably missing some girls, too. But,
there were a lot of dudes.
What was really fun was, like, knowing everyone. I kept seeing people I knew and recognized, and they recognized me, so I kept, like, hugging people, like, all the time, which is, like, a weird feeling, but it's really awesome, because you feel like, I don't know, it's really awesome. And it was a huge party, too. And also about, like, MLG, I think why it's fun to go, it's not so much for the games, because you can watch the VODs. It's for, like, the ambiance and to meet people, to meet, like, the people you talk to about StarCraft all the time, which is pretty much the biggest highlight. And, well, if you're, like, a fanboy or fangirl, you can finally see, like, your idols and stuff. So I'm pretty always excited when I see the Koreans. I'm like, oh!
Yeah, exactly. I finally had a geek out moment. I very rarely geek out on people, and as a matter of fact, I try not to, because it's like, well, I don't want to be annoying. But I was hunting Marine King down. I was like, all right, God knows the next time he's going to be in America, I need to get this guy's signature. So I was very stoked. So I'll be framing that. You guys will see that hanging next to Kerrigan at some point. So.
That's cute.
But yeah, what a freaking blast! I have to mention, by the way, Stefano is awesome. The man would not stop dancing, no matter what happened. It didn't matter if there was enough room to dance. It didn't matter if there were people in his way. It didn't matter if he was standing inside the women's bathroom. He was dancing constantly, everywhere, all the time.
Well, it's probably the only place in the party that there was space to stand.
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah, it was pretty funny seeing, like, there was kind of a men's line at some point. Then you go to the female bathroom and there's, like, nobody. It's like, whoa, that's really fucked up.
It was, I was really surprised to see. I mean, Patrick, Octane Pro, posted a video of Clutch dancing at this party online. And the biggest complaint that continued to come up is, oh man, this was such a quote-unquote sausage fest. And it's like, what did you expect, dude? Like, are you seriously going to go to MLG to pick up chicks? And if you are, like, well, those awesome chicks probably already have awesome boyfriends.
I don't know about you, Kyle, but that's exactly where I go to pick up women.
Absolutely. Sign me up.
So there's that. So yes. Oh, and the other awesome thing was watching Marine King ride Stefano. That was very amusing.
That was really special.
I didn't even know Marine King was there because he's like not even old enough. So I'm like, oh, there goes Marine King. He's riding.
Yeah, I was surprised to see him, but it's true. At all the Twitch after parties, they always have all the players go there even if they're not legal. They just like put like a little thingy on you or something, I think.
Right. Yeah.
That's the concept.
Yeah. So it was very neat. And shout out to Oxlav, who I ran into at the party. I ended up talking to him for like an hour about beer. It was the most random conversation ever, but I really enjoyed talking to him. Very cool guy. We had him on the show once, and he's a nice dude. So if he's listening, I enjoyed meeting you and talking to you, sir. So, anyways, I guess we'll talk about more MLG as we go. Let's kick off the rest of the show. Let's start on this week's status report.
Can we get a status report?
Status report today is brought to you by GameChangersTheMovie.com. Game Changers is a film about friendship and success in the world of pro gaming. You visit GameChangersTheMovie.com for more information. A $10 donation will get your gamer tag in the credits of the film, so go check that out. And in this week's status report, the first thing we wanted to bring up, Season 6 lock is coming. Blizzard quoted saying that the Season 6 lock also means that the Season 7 is right around the corner. Specifically, during the week of April 9th, Season 6 will end and Season 7 will begin, so we have our dates, and Kyle probably still thinks it's too soon.
Yes. That sums up my whole opinion. We know this. Moving on.
Oh, I'm always sad when there's a season, like, luck. I'm always like, oh, but I didn't move out of my league yet.
Yep, that's what...
I think we lost Garrett. Oh, no. Is he enthusiastically talking? Oh, no, I think it's just silence. Well, at any rate, God, what was he going to say?
I don't know.
It's always like that. His number's so high, he likes to see it go down again. He can try again for golden 4s. I'm just going to keep bashing him till he comes back.
Can you hear me?
Yes, welcome back.
That was very odd. I hit mute for a moment. It didn't drop me like it usually does. Anyway.
Oh, welcome back.
Were you making fun of me in gold?
Yes.
Ah, okay, wondrous. So, what was I saying? I don't even remember.
Something about
lost my train of
lockout?
thought. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, you can't get promoted. You can't get demoted. So, burn up that bonus pool, man. You can still go up, and it'll still affect your MMR, so it can still help you get promoted at the beginning of the next season.
Hey, all I expect Terrans to be doing is what we saw at a Marine King with the Hellion Marauder push. So go experiment with that, Terrans, that horrible, horrible thing.
I have never...
tried it. I tried it once and it failed horribly.
Oh, really?
Yeah, well, the guy was up against, like, saw my Hellions, and he freaked out and made roaches, which is good, because then I have Marauders. But he also freaked out so much that he made 9 spine crawlers.
What?
Oh, that's no good. But again, Marauders kind of tear through stuff like that.
Yeah,
Well,
but
not
that's a lot of spine crawlers.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
since I didn't have an expansion, I was like, I need to break this. So I just ended up losing.
No, that's not fun.
It is kind of an all-in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you should have killed all the roaches with the Marauders and then just done a run by with your Hellions and then slowly plinked at the spine crawlers with the Marauders one at a time.
Yeah, I should, but I didn't.
Nope.
So anyway, go try that. Kyle, I have never seen you complain about Terran as much as I did sitting next to you watching Marine King fight DRG.
Dude.
You were raging, sir. You were sick, so it was a quiet rage, but you were raging on the fact. If you weren't sick, you probably would have been throwing your arms, flipping tables, and cursing up a storm.
It's, you know what, it's not really an angry sort of rage, which is easy to deal with. It's that, like, dad's disappointed sort of rage where it's kind of quiet and, like, every comment that comes, 10 minutes apart has so much dead weight to it that you feel like you can't have fun. No, I know, I was having fun, but yes, I did get a little intense. The reason I get so upset is the, quote, for the swarm. And there comes a point when bio is for the swarm, and Zerg cannot swarm more than a bio Zerg player, and I'm like, oh, come on, like, that's just, like, not OP, not in balance, but just come on, like, make all the Marines, like, twice as much health, and have, like, half as many, just so I can say for the swarm with some joy in my heart.
For the Marine swarm.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Well,
DRG was plowing that down with, well, what else? Expendable units, Banelings, Zerglings. These things don't stick around after you use them. Infestors, they cast and they gotta leave. They gotta go take a nap for a while.
Kyle, I would agree with you if it wasn't for the fact that you could make, like, 80 things spawn at once, as opposed to where I have to have a conga line of units. And literally what it looks like. There's just a line of Marines just going down Metalopolis on their way to the Zerg base.
Well, when you get down to it, us Zergs, us poor Zerg souls, we have such a deep fear.
Poor Zerg.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, yeah, poor Zerg.
I disagree.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
You guys are so hard to win.
It's rough. We're oppressed. Everyone's always trying to wipe you out and kill you, and you just want to, assimilate their DMAs and make them better. At any rate, that's just lore. Where was I going with this? Oh, yes. You guys have tanks, and in the end, we're so afraid of tanks that we're not going to make roaches, and that's exactly, well, to jump ahead, what DRG needed in this absurd for the Marine swarm pushes. That's why I was upset.
All right. You are, I guess.
Did you expect Marine King to win?
No, I actually, well, I don't know. Marine King was representing hard. If I really would have thought about it, I probably would have put my money on him, but, I'm a Zerg fan, a big DRG fan, so I was going with him for the entire event.
I thought DRG was going to win it, to be honest. I don't know, usually Marine King isn't that, he's really, really good, but he usually has some bad games. So he ends up losing tournaments. But for some reason, he topped it out to the end, and I was really surprised that he could do that twice. Because usually he ends up, like, losing at some point.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that whole curse everyone was talking about. He always gets second place. Never takes first. And then take first in MLG twice in a row against DRG twice in a row.
Yeah. And against everyone else he beat along the way. I mean, we had some awesome players who are now going to have massive American fan clubs.
Hart. Holy crap! I've never watched Hart play in my life, and this man put on a stunning freaking show. And one of my favorite games too, which kind of got overlooked, was Polt versus Stefano. That was a really awesome series.
Well, that was just one where they're like in each other's heads. They've played so many times. And then Crazy Moving. Like there's another Zerg player that no one, well, he was Code A, so you've heard of him maybe, but no one really gave him clout. And now he's going to have so many fans. So here, I have a good comparison. It'd be like if let's say you didn't go tanks for some reason, for some insane, awful reason, Terran didn't go tanks. And I went Hydras, and I went Hydra drops, and I took 2 Overlords of Hydras and just dropped everywhere in your base over and over and over again. And you'd be like, this is stupid. This is what Terran does. I hate it. There you go. I've summed up my rage. I'm done now.
All right. Fantastic. MLG announced their spring season. They have they're going to have the open online qualifiers March 30th through April 15th. This will be online only and will not be broadcasted. They're going to have the spring arena, number 1, which will be April 20th through the 22nd in New York City. It will be live broadcasted. They're going to have the invite-only qualifier from the 27th to the 30th, which will be an online broadcast. And then the Spring Arena 2. So they're having 2 arenas before the championship, and that's going to be May 18th through the 20th, also New York City, broadcasted live. And then finally, we'll have the championship starting on June 8th, going for the whole weekend in Anaheim, California, with a live broadcast and obviously in-person spectators, much like what we just saw at the Winter Championship. I'm excited, very excited. A little sad that it's in Anaheim because I so cannot afford a plane ticket to California right now.
Yeah, it's one thing to go to Columbus, Ohio, and let me just say, Columbus, downtown, beautiful city. Where's all the people?
There's not many people.
I had the exact same feeling. Yeah, LivinPink, are we right? I mean, I felt like it was in a zombie movie. It was very surreal. It had a Chicago, New York kind of look, a lot of high-rise buildings. Nobody there.
Yeah. So Providence was a bit like that. I thought they were pretty similar. Like you just go into the street and they're like either 0 people or like 1 random people, and that people ends up being at MLG too.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a lot of people there.
Yeah, it was just weird. I don't know. It was very odd. I liked it. It was pretty. Yeah. I kind of wanted to go off exploring. When I flew in, I was like, man, there's a lot of woods here. I just want to go camping. Possibly get killed by a Blair Witch. So, anyways, that's the spring season for MLG. I was surprised they didn't announce prices for the arenas. That was what I was like, okay, are they dropping the price? Is it less than $20? What's it going to be, Sundance? And then he didn't say anything.
Yeah.
So
maybe they're still thinking.
Possibly. There was a tweet that went out saying, what do you guys think about free arenas? And I'm sure, what kind of question is that? Of course, everyone's going to say yes. But
I think you should keep it paying first, because I really want esports to keep going, and I want the scene to be as supported as possible. So I think they should keep like some kind of price.
Right. I agree. I just don't think it should be 20.
Yeah, that's a bit much.
I mean, the list of people that are being invited, flown, care of this event is pretty dramatic. I mean, he was talking about not only previous winners or, highest qualifiers, but also just grandmasters up to like almost the top, he said like 80 or something ridiculous. There's a lot of people that are getting their travel comped for these events, and that's what's going to take to make these global events. So if we got to pay $20 to keep things global, I mean, think of how disappointing it is whenever the Koreans don't show up to an event.
Yeah, I agree with that. So I'm excited to see what the price will be. I'm assuming they're going to keep it paid, but I'm hoping there'll be a small drop. So, anyways, that sums up Status Report this week. It is time for Ion Esports.
From StarCast, this is Ion Esports.
And Ion Esports is brought to you by LightweightRPG.com. Schrader Heavy Industries is a brand new print and video game development studio. Their first product will be a tabletop RPG called the Lightweight Role-Playing Game. This is a brand new system which allows new and old players to buy less, start faster, and play more. They are currently running demos and will be at PAX East in Boston from April 6th to 8th. For more information, including on how to get a chance to play the game before release, go to LightweightRPG.com. And we thank them for their support. So, little more about MLG Columbus 2012 because we haven't really gotten to the nitty-gritty about who won. Of course, obviously, if you're listening, you probably know who won, so I'm not really going to give you a spoiler alert because, well, it's your fault. Marine King won. I was very excited. He took himself home a cool $25,000, which is, I'm sure, awesome. Dong Regu took second, taking home $15,000. Hart took third, winning $9,000, and Huck took fourth, winning $5,500. Now, this is pretty Korean-dominated. Looking at the top 16, only 5 out of the top 16 were foreign players. Huck took 4th, and then we had Naniwa at 8th, Sok took 11th, Rhett took 14th, and Sase took 16th. So, it's just, I mean, I guess I'm not surprised, but...
Also, for some reason, it was really, like, top 8 was really similar to the MLG New York City.
Oh,
like,
really?
I think the only difference was, like, Hart was in it, and last time it was Oz. Yeah. That's about it. I think it's the same top 8 or something.
Yeah, obviously it was the same finals. So.
Well, is there really enough time between then and now for the players to get it? This isn't GSL where the players have a week to prepare for each other. When there's this massive games, and these games are that close together, you probably will have similar finals. It could be, I mean, it could be an issue. It could just be what they want. I mean, clearly they got it right. I mean, the winners pool, those people made it a long time. The people who did very well in the arena continue to do very well in this event. So, but it was really cool to see players like Crazy Moving who just showed up. They're in the open pool. I mean, you got to feel bad for the random dude out there who was like, "Hey, Dad, take me to MLG. I'm gonna play in the open pool." And Crazy Moving, who's this guy? And just gets schooled. I mean, when reminds me of the story from when I was walking around MLG Orlando, and I'm talking to a guy standing in line for lunch, and he's like, "Man, I got Marine King as my first match. Just like I'm some dude. I'm just a guy. Oh, playing Marine King in my open pool."
Oh yeah. We heard a lot of those sub stories in Orlando. It's like, hey, what's up with you? Oh, I just got crushed by White Raw. Nothing else. You know, before I go eat lunch, I just like to get stomped by one of the best Protoss players in the world. So,
it was so funny too to see the personalities on stage because my girlfriend who was there with me, Kristen, she had never seen Naniwa play. If she hadn't seen a picture of him playing while playing, and she's like, "This guy looks like a villain."
Oh, Naniwa, yeah.
Oh, he does look like a villain. Totally.
He does have a bit of a sinister look to him.
He's like the most villainish looking player, for sure. Like the next one, I don't know, even Idra doesn't look that mean.
No, it just, I guess, cleaned himself up a bit or, put on a good face. I mean, now you get a disappointed, like, headward, a sideways nod from Idra when he gets lost, But Naniwa, man, who was he playing in the open pool that they had, like, a 6-minute runaround with a single stalker versus, like, a probe and a zealot?
Oh, yeah, I heard that.
That was versus Huck, I believe.
Oh, yes, because then Huck went straight to the main stage.
Right. Yeah, I have yet to go watch those VODs, but apparently it was a hell of a series.
Yeah,
I usually don't hear PvP and get excited, but apparently it was a hell of a series. I wish it had gotten the main stage.
It was so cool to see that story travel through the crowd at MLG. Granted, at the time, we were all watching another match, which, well, there's a topic I'd like to talk about a little bit. Boring casting. It definitely was very apparent in the audience when there were casters who the audience was a fan of, and then there was other games that just lost all their excitement because they had casters that weren't as excited.
I like how you're dancing around saying who the casters were that people were complaining about around us, Kyle.
Well, everyone's got different opinions. I mean, I, for one, am a huge Tastosis fan, but the guys behind me said, "Oh, man, Tastosis, they're casting our final. Bring Day 9 back on." And, who can complain about Day 9? But there's probably someone out there who's like, "Man, I hate Day 9. Everything he does, this is just ridiculous."
You're always going to have your hipsters that just hate whoever's popular.
Yeah.
It's going to I like this guy on YouTube. He's got like 3 views. He's the best caster ever.
So, well, you know, I mean, I remember watching anime when I was younger, and my parents would come in and say a comment, and any old offhand comment, and it changes your view. So I'm not going to say who I'm thinking of, you know, because I want people to have their own opinions. Clearly, he's worked very hard to get there. Ooh, he's a man. Oh, no, like, that's giving away so much. Actually, why don't we have female casters?
I don't know. I've been trying to get in.
That's a very good question. LivinPink, get on that.
Well, she has.
Yeah.
I remember you talking about that in the past, that you were... You casted some game, was it? Wait, didn't you go to GSL?
What?
Did you go to Korea at one point?
No, I went to China.
Oh, okay, that was it.
Yeah. I casted the WDD Night. It was an all-female tournament that Aphrodite won. And second place was Flo. And yeah, I'm still trying to get in. I've been casting for Play-M a bit. And I'm still hoping to get in the MLG beta casters. That would be really cool. I think they need a girl there. Here.
I would agree with that 100%. So.
Yeah, I mean, of course, you'll have to break the stigma, and there'll be that who is this girl? Does she actually play? Well, yes, she does. Now you have this big, long track record. It's time for us to get you on stage there. Some CDO Ramlead in the chat room found the picture I was thinking of Naniwa, and I don't know why they use this as like his press picture. It's him like hunched over his computer, and someone's edited in the words, "They stole it from us sneaky hobbitses."
Now I just want to hear Naniwa say, "Turtles, what turtles?"
Yeah,
that's awful. That's terrible. We love you, Naniwa. I bumped into him at the after party. He is way nicer in person than Reddit would make you believe.
Well, that's good.
Same with Idra. I was very surprised by how approachable he was.
Oh, he's super nice.
Yeah,
really
cool
really,
dude.
really nice.
Yeah. So, anyways, with LivinPink, was there any match that like you really liked that you think maybe didn't get the limelight as much, or like, did you have a favorite match that we haven't talked about, or?
I'm having trouble remembering right now. I missed a lot of the matches because I was doing interviews.
Right.
But I really liked all the Marine King matches because I'm a fan of Marine King.
Oh yeah.
I like how he's not that standard, but still can win and is still solid in his own way.
Yeah.
Like, it's a different style, but it's still like consistent and it works for him, so it's really cool. So I think overall I was really happy with Marine King again. I was sad that Linux wasn't there because he's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Also Nesty, that sucks.
Yeah, that was kind of odd.
Agreed. Yeah, I'm a huge Marine King fan, so to see so many of his games in a weekend live was just such a treat for me. So, well, let's talk about something besides MLG. Is everyone okay with that? Because there were other tournaments that happened this past week. We had the GSL Season 2 started up. I was so preoccupied with MLG. I didn't even know this happened. I got on Reddit the day I got home, like, oh crap, GSL started. I need to start watching these games. And so we had Group B, Group D, and Group C all happen over the last 3 days. Group B was Monday. Supernova, Genius, Seed, and Boom Boom played. I have no idea if I'm saying that right. Got a lot of B's in that name. Anyway, Supernova and Genius moved on. And then Maru, Hero, Curious, and Gumio played in Group D on Tuesday, and both Maru and Hero moved on. And I wanted to make a note. We're actually starting to see the Phoenix range upgrade utilized. Hero used it in his first game against Curious, and it actually worked quite well. It allowed him to stand on even ground against the Corruptors that the Curious were using. And not to mention, he also built a carrier, and that worked. But probably the reason, we saw White Raw and Stefano. White Raw went for the Phoenix range upgrade and went for the carriers, but it was more of a carrier rush, and he built a ton of carriers. Hero used it more as like a garnish. He only had like one carrier, and then he had a tactical force of Phoenixes with this range upgrade that were just keeping all of the Zerg air units at bay, and it worked really well. So I just thought it was really interesting because over the past couple of weeks, we've really been hating on that change, saying, oh well, this is stupid, that's not going to work.
Well, I think we all wanted it to work more than it did, particularly towards the carrier end, and I think that's why the choices to make lots of carriers was so heavy-handed. And of course, things are going to calm down. I mean, once people are done being excited, they'll go, "Oh yes, I only need one Archon. I don't need Archon Army."
Right. Yeah. So, exactly.
Oh, actually, that brings back a thought in. Oh, who was Huck playing? It was a PvP on stage, but there was an awesome point. Huck was just a delight to watch the whole time he was on stage. Going back to MLG, sorry, I'm going back here. But
it's gonna happen.
There was a point where he made an Archon and then grabbed it with his army to push up the hill as it was still morphing in so he could get rid of the force fields. It was genius and beautiful.
Yeah.
I remember another move I really liked. I think it's MarineKing who did it, the Thor Micro with the Medivac.
Oh, dude.
Yes.
That was crazy.
That was insane.
That was sick.
Oh my god. Yeah,
people went really crazy on that too. People were like screaming, and I was like, "Oh, this is so gross. This is disgusting for the Zerg."
Yes, that is well put.
I couldn't believe what I was seeing. It was insane. His micro is nuts. I was saying it all weekend because Kyle was raging. He's like, "God, they're swarming!" I'm like, "But Kyle, no one else in this world can micro the Marines like that. Most people, you make banelings and you win." Like, he is it. That is it. He's the only person I know that can micro that well.
Well, and MarineKing threw me a bone by saying, I can't beat DRG in a standard game, so I have to do these things. So I was like, okay, I'll keep that in my pocket for later. But, I mean, all I was thinking, I'm like, Hydras would be winning here. I know that's weird to say, but this could happen in some sort of weird, wacky world where Terran stops making siege tanks because Zerg really likes running in with Banelings and Zerglings and destroying siege tanks, that we could have Hydras in a ZVT. Because they will destroy Thors. I've seen it happen.
Especially if if Heart of the Swarm comes and they keep the Hydra movement speed in the game, I could definitely see Hydras being utilized more. Kyle, are you trying to talk? Because no words are coming out.
I wasn't trying to interrupt you.
Oh, okay, cool. It looked like your lips were moving.
No,
These web cameras today are being very odd. I apologize to our podcast audience for why do they keep asking each other if they're talking?
Well, we have an editor. We have edits for these things.
But are they that good? Because I wasn't, so they probably aren't either. So back to GSL. Group C was this morning, which I was really excited about. Why, do you ask? Because MarineKing was playing again, and I just can't have enough of the little guy. MarineKing played, July Zerg played, we had Xenio and Alive also. The GSL stats they showed that MarineKing has actually the second most wins in GSL, which I thought was kind of interesting. But they didn't mention who had number
second
one.
Again?
Yes, once again, second. And we got to watch MarineKing hand out soy milk to the crowd before going to 2-0 Xenio into oblivion. He just he rocked Xenio. I'm surprised. Kyle, did you by any chance watch these at all this morning?
No. I remember, you informed me that we had our GSL account, and I was very excited, but all too sick. So I watched Season of the Witch with Nicolas Cage, which would have been a great movie, except for Nicolas Cage.
I'm so sorry. Did you just tell me, no, sorry, I didn't watch awesome StarCraft matches. I watched one of the shittiest movies ever made.
I wasn't mentally capable yesterday, being so sick, of taking good movies. So I watched, Season of the Witch. One of my staples, whenever I get sick, I watch Dark Crystal. And then I fell asleep during Labyrinth, like I always do.
Oh, I love Labyrinth.
I can't make it through. I always fall asleep. But then again, I only watch when I'm sick, so I haven't really given it its fair share.
All right. Anyway, what I was going to say is July is looking really freaking good. He's playing insane. He took a game off MarineKing. He almost took him out in game 2. He almost 2-0'd MarineKing. He was like that close. But MarineKing came back. And even game 3, it looked like MarineKing was having issues taking him out. I mean, MarineKing ended up winning. But July's looking strong. I'm very impressed because anyone who listens normally knows that I kind of July's playing. Well, he'll probably lose.
Yeah, I'm really happy about that because at first, in the first season of GSL, he was quite good. And people feared him a lot, and his style was really awesome, really aggressive. Right. And when he got when he decided to attack, he just never stopped, and it worked for some reason. But then he kind of lost it and fell out of it, and I was really sad. And every time I watching, I'm like melancholic and I'm sad that he's not good anymore. So I'm happy that he's getting like back into it.
Yeah, well, and July Zerg, at least for newer players, particularly when we really picked up the game about, a year and a half ago, he was really exciting. I mean, he was always built up. It's like, ooh, here comes July. He's huge in Brood War. He's super aggressive. And then there was a period about 6 months ago where July was still competing in Code S, but he was playing standard, and we're all like, ooh, this is weird. I don't want to see July do this. So, hey, I'm glad he's back. Is he still being aggressive, or is it standard, like, grown-up July?
He's doing a mix of both. He's still definitely playing July. When he sees a weakness, he's just like, all right, I'm going to take advantage of this right here and right now. He just built a ton of units and just surges forward. And I really recommend go watch the July versus Marine King matches because they're great. And July ended up moving on to the next round with Marine King, so we will see more from him. I can't believe it. He's made it into the round of 16. So go July. Good for him. And we got a link to all this in the show notes so you guys can go check it out. And if you don't have a GSL pass, what are you doing? It's not that expensive, and the games are awesome.
Deinstall StarCraft now.
Yes, do it. Do it now. We also had the Iron Squid tournament going on. It's still going on. It has begun as they move towards their May 5th finals, which will be taking place in Paris. Group A happened between Marine King, Puma, Ret Boxer, and TOD. Marine King and Puma are the victors from Group A, so they'll be moving on. And then Group B also happened, which had MC, Symbol, Idra, MVP, and Thorzane. Both MC and Symbol are the victors in Group B. So that's very exciting. I'm very curious to see this tournament progress. I think the finals will hopefully be quite exciting.
Well, Europe's in need of more than a casual pat on the back with DreamHack once a year or twice a year.
Casual? Have you seen DreamHack?
I'm just saying the numbers. They're not getting that many tournaments. Europe's a big place. Like, America has tons of tournaments, and
actually, I know they have a lot of small ones, but they're not really known about or watched. Like, we had one in Montreal that was called LAN ETS, and nobody heard about it, but they had, like, so many good players in it, but nobody watches it because nobody hears about it. But they don't have big ones. Like, in Canada, we don't have anything. Pretty much.
It's a big land, too.
Yeah, I know that's been one of the big, the most pushed for MLGs is like an MLG Montreal or something.
Yeah, we have a big scene. Like, the bar crafts are really working well. They got like 800 or 900 people in it every time.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
Big.
Well, I'd be all for that. I've always wanted to go visit Canada, so MLG, give me a reason. I'll totally go to an MLG in Canada.
I think it would be a good place to have one. I hope they choose Montreal because it would be really convenient for me.
Yeah. So, in other news, we had some caster shuffling. MrBitter and RotterdaM left ESL TV. And this was just a few days ago this was announced, and then all of this speculation came up. They're like, oh, NASL is going to be announcing new casters in a few days. $10 says it's them. And then sure enough, today, NASL announced that MrBitter, RotterdaM, and Froden will be joining them for NASL Season 3. So that's very exciting because BitterDam is a damn good casting duo.
That's interesting after all the work that MrBitter in particular has put into ESL to be changing. I mean, good for him. And certainly NASL is in need of some more well-known casters at the very least. I mean, there's some good casters in there.
And permanent. They keep switching them around, and I think it'd be nice for them to get a standard set of casters.
Yeah.
Yep.
It sounded like everything died in my headphones. So that's exciting. Keep a lookout for that. GanZi joined Complexity this past week, and he will be attending IPL 4 next week in Las Vegas, representing the team. That'll be his first tournament representing Complexity. And last week we mentioned very briefly that there were some rumors going around that iNcontroL will be going to Korea, and he announced at MLG in an interview with ESFI that he will not be going to Korea, that it just isn't going to work out at this point in time, but that it don't count him out for the future. Anything could happen. So we have that true. You can watch that full interview and a link in our show notes to get to the YouTube video.
Well, that's quite a shame. I was really excited to see him cast in Korea. He's an excellent caster. I'd love it if he was a little more active with that. Granted, I mean, he's still focusing on being a player, so, you know.
Yeah. Well, that's something he mentioned in the interview with the SFI is, you know, he wants to still, you know, be a player when he can be a player, because you can always be a player and then be a caster. He said, you know, you can't always be a caster and then be a player. So I think it's very, very smart strategy.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I guess. But his player career isn't that good at the moment. I don't know what he can do to get better. I guess practice more or something. I think he has a lot of it in place with the team and everything, though. So, yeah. But about the Korean joining teams, like foreign teams, what do you think about that? Like, you talked about Killer, but I think there's a lot like MC change teams and everyone. Why do you think that is?
I'm not sure. I mean, I would speculate maybe it's out of, you know, you look at the Brood War scene, you look at what happened with Kespa and their kind of monopoly over teams and players and punishing them for going to do tournaments with GOM and stuff like that. Maybe it's in the players' best interest to be on an international team, thinking, well, they won't get, you know, stuck under the fist of Kespa if all of this stuff goes through, because currently Kespa's talking with Blizzard about starting a Star League, and it's looking like it's going to go through. And while I and obviously a lot of people in the community have a lot of faith in Blizzard, it's just Kespa's track record is not the cleanest when it comes to playing fair and nice. So that would probably be my only educated guess on why Korean players are joining foreign teams, is to maybe try and buffer themselves from being stuck under the fist of Kespa.
Yeah, all I can think of is that they are moving two particular teams. I mean, we see a lot of teams that are growing fast. Quantic, Complexity. These are teams that seem to have very, even for 2 years ago, we can call them modern business plans about how they're working esports. So older teams like OGS seems to be having a problem keeping up with sponsors and everything. So there's always going to be, you know, dealings that are being done under the table. Clearly these players are getting money. So they're not just saying, I want to go be in my friend's team. No, you're going over there because it's financially viable for you.
Right. That's another good point. I didn't even think about that. There's a good chance that they just offered them a bigger salary.
Speaking of financially viable, does anyone know the story with Team Grubby? Grubby's Team Grubby is a strange thing.
What do you mean?
Well, Grubby, the player, is on Team Grubby. Does anyone know the story?
No, I don't know the story, but I knew he didn't have, well, I thought he didn't have a team. I guess he's on his own team.
So he made up his own.
Yeah, you look at his Wikipedia page, it's currently showing him as teamless. So that would...
See, I'm looking at it right now. It says Team History. He used to be on Evil Geniuses, and now he's on Team Grubby to present.
So he's probably just putting himself into tournaments.
Yeah, according to our chat room, we're just seeing he is his own team.
There you go.
Represent. Him and his mom sit around and, you know, weave his own jerseys. It's a homegrown team for him.
All right, well, I'm starting Team Garrett right now. You guys can come support me at MLG Anaheim, where I will lose miserably. So that's fantastic. So, LivinPink, did you have any thoughts on the Koreans joining foreign teams?
No, I was just wondering. I should have looked it up, but maybe it's just for more sponsorship. But in my opinion, the Korean teams should have money to send players abroad. I don't know.
Yeah,
that's just a question.
Yeah, it's especially with StarCraft 2, it's much more global than the Brood War days.
You know what? That's actually a really interesting point to bring up, is that Korean teams, classically Korean teams, probably don't have the global market in mind.
That's true.
Particularly global fans. I mean, some of these people, all you got to do is put them on stage. All you had to do was take Crazy Moving and put it on an MLG American stage, and boom, that guy's name is now known.
Yeah, I was really impressed by him too. I liked him a lot.
Yeah, he had some really damn good games. So.
Yep. Polt's another good example. I mean, he's been around for a long time. He does kind of look like a Korean Harry Potter.
Yeah, he does. He totally does.
Yeah. Patrick leaned over and said that to me, and I lost it in the crowd, man. It was hilarious. So, well, that'll do it for Ion Esports for right now. We'll move on to feedback. But first, let's take a short break, and I need to get a drink.
All right, be right back. Oh, we're back.
Right. Well, that was interesting. And turn my volume back up and save my ears from that incredibly loud video. You know, usually I complain that YouTube videos aren't loud enough, and that is not the case with our wonderful Octane Pros video.
You know what's the worst is when you're just going around YouTube and you get in that like cutesy mood and you're like, you know what, I want to see some puppies. I want to see some baby otters. But eventually you get into that point where they just start being home videos and they start being creepy and people being like, I love you. And the dog's like, row, row, row. And they're like, I love you. And
God,
row, row, for like 10 minutes straight. It just gets ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of those at all. So, Anyways, let's move into this week's feedback.
Incoming transmission.
Patching you through. The Yamato is loaded, and so am I.
And feedback today is brought to you by SC2QuoteOfTheDay.com. Daily quotes from the StarCraft 2 community. The site may suck, but the quotes are sick. Our first email comes to us from Toke. He says, Dear Cast and LivinPink, how often would you say you cheese in percentage? And is it the same for all MU? What does MU stand for? I'm not sure.
I don't know. I feel like I should multi. No,
I don't even know. And he also asks if one only has a limited amount of time and does not wish to spend money, what do you think is the best place for VODs? This could be for tournaments or YouTube channels. Where do I get the most for my time? Thanks and cheers from Denmark. Well, I don't know. LivinPink, how much would you say you cheese?
Very rarely, like 1%. I did it 2 weeks ago once, and it failed horribly. I don't practice it. I don't try it because I want to get better, and I feel that choosing my way out of my league is not the way to improve. It's just a way to get out of my league.
Gotcha.
Oh, MU is matchup.
Oh, there it is.
Yep.
Brain fart.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't cheese too often either, unless I just see an opening, kind of like Chalchalizerg plays, only not nearly as good.
Well, I choose against Zerg because it's my worst matchup, so I guess that's when I choose.
But you guys have the bunker. Cheesing isn't so much a commitment as I might as well anyway for Terran these days. I mean, we saw this tons through MLG of just that bunker. They're fast expanding. I'll build the bunker. They might not do anything about it, and I may win right now.
Yeah, I think I should do it because the thing is that I didn't practice it, so when I tried it a couple of times, I didn't have good positioning, and I just ended up losing resources.
Right.
But anyway, I keep losing my TVD, so it doesn't change anything.
Yeah. Yeah, practicing is a little important. I tried the Hellion Marauder all-in without ever actually looking up at build order or teaching myself how to do it, and it did not go well. So
That's what I did.
I should probably practice that.
I'm sure that's happened a lot this week.
Yeah. As for where to find VODs and whatnot, I mean, if you're looking for free stuff, I always enjoy Huskey's YouTube channel. It's 100% free. You always got stuff to watch. But if you're going to pay money, I would still say GSL is probably the most bang for your buck.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, he doesn't want to pay money.
Well, he said not spend Yeah, he does not wish to spend money. I'd say spend a little money to get GSL, or I mean, you still got there's plenty of free stuff you can watch. Day Night Daily, you've got Husky, you've got
I think you
StarCraft.
should go. I guess you can go for D9. I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I definitely recommend GSL. I think it's the best thing you can choose to watch.
Well, and look out for, Liquipedia or Team Liquid and their esports elephant. I mean, that thing runs down all the matches that are happening every week. You could very well, while you're sitting at work, I mean, you don't have much time at home because you're a busy man. So when you get home, you're probably only going to have time to watch maybe one match. You could pick it out during your workday while you're browsing Team Liquid. Find that one match that everyone's talking about and watch it. They're actually really good about being spoiler-free.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
as for...
Sorry, continue.
Oh, I was just going to say, as for my cheese, I cheese a lot in ZVZ. I almost always do the hidden spine crawler on their creep because you have that little bit of room where they can't see. If they fast expand, then I've been doing one base roaches against them and just like plowing through. It's been great. But that's just ZVZ because I don't want to mess around in there. I just don't want to see mutas.
Yeah, you sound like everyone who plays there, because I'm Terran. I don't want to see mutas either.
Oh, yeah. Nobody likes them.
I don't want to have to build Thors or leave a bunch of Marines in the back of my base. That's no fun.
Oh, no.
I'm not a big muta man. I'd rather just enjoy hive tech. And if I don't get the hive tech, well, golly, let's get this game over with.
Right. Our next email comes to us from Connor. He says, hello, Garrett, Kyle, and LivinPink. Just wanted to say thank you. I've been working at Target for about a year now, and when I started, I was bored as hell. So I found out I could use iPods while working, and hey, started listening to StarCast.
Oh, dude, lucky man. Like, getting to listen to some podcasts while you're stocking, oh, that makes the time fly.
For sure.
Yeah, that's when I do all my listening is at work, too. I don't stock, but yeah, I'm allowed to listen to podcasts at work, too. And thank God for that, because I'd probably kill somebody. Connor says on a more StarCraft note, though, I was watching some streams lately and came across this one game where the guy was opening Void Rays and Phoenixes, and, well, it was doing terrible. I don't know if it's just me, but whenever I see this opening, it somehow always gets stomped. Just me, but was wondering if you guys have ever seen the same thing. And on one more note, my birthday's on Friday. Happy birthday, Connor. Woo! He's
Happy birthday.
That's badass. Yeah, on the note of the Void Ray Phoenix, usually this is like a hidden starport, like a proxy starport. I haven't seen this go very well either. We've seen a lot of this recently. We saw it at MLG, actually, and it didn't go well.
It still wasn't as bad as... What match was that we were talking about? It was with Matt Fink last week. So it must have been the GSL finals, where Genius, maybe, wasn't decisive, basically. And that's the whole problem with this problem, is they always fly in and they're like, yeah, time to kill everyone. What do I target? Whoops. And then it all goes wrong.
Yeah, we're seeing the same issue with a lot of Terran that go for the early Banshee rush, and they don't decide, am I going to target the queens or am I going to target the drones? And then they start kind of doing either or, and they don't do nearly as much damage as they could have had they just stuck with one target. So, I don't know. I guess these air rushes, it's all about commitment. You need to know exactly what you're doing. Just stick to it.
Yeah, yep. That's the main reason so many cheeses fail, is because they don't commit to it. And it's a cheese. Like, you need to... It's done. Your game is over. You just need to enjoy your cheese and have at it. And target the thing you targeted first, even if it was wrong.
Right. So, anyways, Connor, hopefully that helped you out. So, anyways, chat room, now is your time to shine. If you have questions for either me, Kyle, or our guest, LivinPink, write them now, or forever hold your peace. So.
You know what? I have a Dota 2 beta key that I haven't done anything with yet.
Ooh.
Yes. I should think of something to do with that. I didn't come up with a contest or anything.
So you're thinking about just giving it away live right now?
Yeah, I mean, I could. I don't know. Would someone want a Dota 2 beta key?
All right. Well, come up with a question, Kyle.
I know. I should come up with some sort of trivia about something or other. I'm
compiling some questions from the chat room while you figure this out.
All right. I'll come up with something more formal for it. But I do have a beta key that I'm looking to get rid of.
You could ask people to choose numbers.
Yeah, it's always fun.
Write it down in the Skype chat so we know you didn't cheat.
There we go. Yeah, but I could always cheat. That was the whole problem with the, choose numbers and the heads-up 7-ups and everything else.
Can't if you write it down here?
Oh, that's true. Well, I mean, I'm in a limited frame. I could change it. I could cheat. Okay. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
Then, I don't know, ask a question and the first person that gets it right gets the beta key.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll come up with something a little more formal. But nonetheless, I've wasted time, which was the goal.
Yeah. We got plenty of questions now. The first one's for you, LivinPink. Will you be looking to compete in the next MLG, or was this a once-and-done try?
I think if I can get to it, I will probably grab a player pass again, just for fun, pretty much. I tried to practice more before. If I have time, I think I will, because school will be done and I should have more time to play. So I'm going to try to get better at the game. Maybe learn a few cheeses to choose my way to victory.
All right.
So yeah, if I can get there, I'll probably grab a competitor pass if I don't have like another job, which would be a way to get there.
Yeah. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. I was just like, what can I sell? What can I part with? What do I not need? And then I found out everything I have that's worth any money I cannot live without, and everything else I have is crap. So I'll probably keep getting to California. Kyle, what was your favorite high school class? And it can't be drama or theater related.
Well, being a nerd, of course. What was that?
I said, you little Shakespearean actor, you.
Yes, all my lovely community theater. Boy. Oh, you know what? My favorite class was sign language, because that was a lot of fun to learn. I'm, of course, dyslexic, as I've talked about on the show, so doing a traditional language like Latin or, let's say, Spanish, where it's English, but it's all just jumbled and looks ridiculous, is just stupid for a dyslexic to even try to attempt. The most trouble I've ever gotten in with my parents is because I hid a report card that had a D in Spanish on it. It was that I hid it for like 2 months, and it turned into this whole debacle because I said, no, the teachers, they never sent it, and they're not grading my homework right, and just lied my ass off. Just lie, building on lie. It was horrible, and it haunted me. I had dreams that the report card was coming out of my closet and giving itself to my parents. At any rate, sign language is a blast, because basically you have
It is fun.
Yeah, you have a field around you that's like a theater. So if you sign Harry Potter, and you're just like, Harry, Harry, and you point like there, you're like, right here, that's Harry from now on. Much like in a sentence you say in a language where you say he or they, in sign language you set up a field in front of you of people and objects, and instead of telling a story of like an animal got run over a car, you'd be like, CAT, there's a cat right here. This is the cat, and here's a little animal, he's walking along. And then you make the cat and the car with your hands, and you run him over. Like, you actually, this is how you tell a story in sign language. It's fascinating and lovely. Of course, being dyslexic, I started to have trouble as I got more advanced because finger spelling is still spelling, and I couldn't spell the words. So nothing will ever be perfectly right, but it was a blast.
Yeah, I tried it a bit. It's really fun. I can find my name.
Nice. I've never had any experience with sign language whatsoever. Another question we got, LivinPink, how did you get into StarCraft 2?
I had a friend that just said, hey, you want to try this game? Because obviously I'm a gamer. And I was like, I'm not so sure. It's not really my style. I'm more into like RPGs and action games. But I was like, sure, I'll just try it. And at first I was like, I'm not sure, because I felt like I was pretty bad at it, and I don't like being bad at the game. So I just started watching Husky, and it was really exciting and stuff. And then I moved on to Day 9 and finally to GSL. And then I was like, I need to get better at this game. And we played team games, which is a good way to get a girl into StarCraft. So yeah, I played teams, and now I'm trying to move on to 1v1.
All right, nice. I came in from WoW, and I was very surprised when I got into StarCraft. Like, this is not the same at all. One person asked if we got to stand behind any pros while they were playing at MLG, and how'd that look? Well, it looked like I was standing behind someone playing StarCraft. I watched a little bit of Idra. I always enjoy watching the pros play from behind. It's just watching them type is horrifying, because I will never be able to type that fast in my life.
I was running late one of the days for a DRG game. I was, running because I had overslept a little bit, and I'm stuck behind the short guy with his hair sticking straight up. I'm like, damn it, move, you EG. Oh, that's Huck. Oh, okay. I won't end up saying anything then.
If you were anyone else, I'd complain.
Yes.
But you're Huck, yeah.
Yeah, I watched a couple people play, but the one that impressed me most was at Providence. I was right behind Nesty, because I was standing there behind Kiwikaki, and there was not that many people, but then Nesty took his place and came along. So the crowd got like really packed up behind him, but I was already there, so I could take out a piece of his hair or something while he's playing. I was really creepy about it. I took like pictures and videos of like, I'm so close, I can touch him.
All right. All right. Fair enough. I know I shy away from geeking out, but it's good to hear not everyone does. So, what league do we all hope to reach in Season 7? Kyle, I'll start with you. What league do you hope to hit? Are you hoping to be demoted? Do you want to just have an easier season? Do you
I want to be back to Bronze League, please.
I'm wanting to have more fun here. No, actually, it's going to be really interesting because Kristen's really getting into the game right now after going to MLG, and she's very mathematical about the way she thinks about things. Me, I'm theatrical. I'm like, I want ultras, I want infestors. These are the things I will learn to use. Let's do it. Where she's very much like, no. First, we take baby steps, and we learn how to, we learn A, and then we learn B, and then we learn C. And I'm like, no, straight to C. I'll learn the rest when I'm awesome. So I'm going to be practicing with her, basically from the beginning. Like we sat down and we did pairing, like drone pairing, for like 30 minutes. And that was the first thing she ever wanted to do. I'm like, but don't you want to build a Colossus and like laser something? No, I want to work on my probe pairing. So together we're going to be learning basically from the basics and then up. So it should be a really interesting it should be a really interesting experiment going all the way back to step 1 and then moving forward. I think I'm going for Diamond again. I've always said that, but this could be a really cool step forward for me.
Which league are you right now?
I'm in Platinum right now.
Okay, so it's really realistic.
Yes.
Yeah. I would like to make Platinum. I'm still in Gold, but I haven't been playing it much. So I've been watching games, writing about StarCraft, and doing a show. I haven't been playing it much. I'd like to make it to Platinum. That would be awesome. And now that I've got a new computer and a monitor that isn't dying, I have no longer any excuses whatsoever. So, yeah, there's that. What about you, LivinPink?
I'd love to get to Diamond.
So are you currently Platinum?
No, I'm Gold. But I feel like if I can fix my TVZ problem, I can get to Diamond, like, pretty quickly.
What's keeping you down?
The TVZ. I keep losing every game to Zerg. And I did tournaments and I beat a Diamond Terran. So I feel like I could do it if I could like get over my TVZ problem. It's really my terrible matchup.
Yeah, I'm having a pretty rough time against Zerg as well. Yeah, exactly. We should just do ranking strategy because control doesn't come into it at all. Right, Kyle?
Easy. A move into the Zerg brace.
Yeah, no, and then when the Banelings come that you all complain about so much, you just run backwards. You just grab all the Marines and run and leave the Marauders to die and everything works out. Or the Thor. Leave the Thor there. He'll take like 100 Banelings. It's all good.
We'll take this as the final question, because it's wonderfully off-topic. We love ending on off-topic questions. What is our day-to-day like? What's a normal day for all three of us? Kyle, we'll start with you. What's your day like?
My day? Well, how to put this in a sexy way?
I put on a bow tie, and only a bow tie, possibly some cuffs, and I walk outside.
Yep, just thrusting the whole way. No, sadly my life isn't as exciting as, the radio may make it look. Oh, my voice is going. It's catching up with my sickness now. No, I live, of course, in Chicago, so my modest room is quaint and small. I sleep in a bed on stilts because the area under it, that is now, my bed is 6 foot in the air. I can now do things under my bed, like have a table there and a desk and my computer set up and that sort of thing. So, I start in my modest little room. I eat some fruit in the morning. Then I head outside. And if it's not too cold, as it always is in Chicago, I will skip merrily down the street. I don't take the bus because it makes me sick because I have motion sickness and I'm lame like that. So I walk everywhere. but good for my long legs. And, you head to work and you work there, and work just gets, the business done. But then when I'm home, I'm working on shows like these, preparing for Biggest Fan. I mean, that's really the part of my life that I love, is getting to spend time with Kristen and getting to work on podcasts.
Nice.
Nice.
LivinPink, how about you? What exciting things happened during your day?
Well, the schedule changes a lot because I got weird schedule with classes, but usually what happens is I get up, I end up being lazy and eating Greek yogurt with honey.
That's good.
And then I go to class, I'm really tired. I semi-fall asleep during class. Then during the break I go get coffee, and then it gets really better. And then I eat with my friend for dinner, go back to my other class, come back home, and if it's a Tuesday or Thursday, I stream StarCraft, which makes me really happy, and then I eat dinner, and then I try to write my essay that I've been trying to write forever. And then I watch a movie, or I don't know, I can go to the cinema or do something fun with friends, or I can geek out and go to a StarCraft meeting on Thursdays with the McGill people.
Nice.
I mostly like to play StarCraft when I have time.
Yeah. Nice.
I have a lot of school and schoolwork, pretty much.
You said go to the cinema. I have to ask, have you seen the Hunger Games yet?
No, I should go. But I wanna see that other movie with the guy from Superbad in it, though. It's a comedy.
Guy from Superbad. Oh, 21 Jump Street.
Yeah, I want to see that first.
I heard really good things. I haven't seen either. I asked because I'm going to go Friday to see Hunger Games, and I'm really excited to see it. So, yeah, my day today is not particularly interesting either. I wake up usually because my girlfriend has pushed me because I snore, and around half an hour before our alarm goes off, she just gets sick of it and pushes me, so I stop snoring so she can enjoy her last half hour of sleeping. Stop the Chihuahua from trying to lick my face because his breath stinks. And I get up, I do my hair, because if you know me, I'm incredibly vain, and I have very curly hair, and I have to straighten it.
Really?
Yeah, I am very vain when it comes to hair. I get my hair cut once a month, and it's bad. It's one thing.
Oh, yeah, poor thing. I showered this morning. I went out, and now I'm stuck with this hair flip for the whole day because I was caught in the wind.
Nice. You have straight hair naturally, though, don't you, Kyle?
Oh yeah, I'm beautiful.
Yeah. Okay. So I don't want to hear it. I have white boy fro. There's a picture of me with a chainsaw. You guys can go find it on my Facebook. And my hair is out to here. It's insane. And then I go to work. I don't do much for breakfast usually. I usually just get something terrible for me, like a bag of chips and soda, because I don't like coffee in the morning because it's too damn hot in Florida. I'm really trying to kick the habit of soda constantly all the time. So, but then I work as a graphic designer. I go to work. I do a lot of page layout and stuff like that. I see InDesign in my sleep when I close my eyes all the time. I'm a grandmaster in InDesign and a gold in StarCraft. So
Yes.
yeah. So
The
that's
gold
really
master.
yeah. And then I come home around 5 as usual. I usually play a few games of StarCraft or jump on Star Wars: The Old Republic. Cook dinner with Katie. And then sit down and watch some TV. Usually whatever the big show is going on at the time. Currently we're marathoning through Game of Thrones because we're trying to catch up before Season 2 starts on Sunday. We just finished Walking Dead. I don't know, got a pretty boring American life. And then I spend all my other spare time writing this show and writing our new show, which is being delayed a week because I'm too damn tired and sick from MLG to record a new show.
I'm glad to hear it.
What was that?
What's the new show?
What is the new show? Oh.
It's a secret.
Can we announce it, Kyle? I think we can announce it, Kyle.
We might as well. We're going to be doing it next week.
All right, we're announcing it. The podcast RSS is not up yet, so don't go looking for it on iTunes because you will not find it. But we do have a Twitter, we do have an email, and we do have a website. So our new show is going to be called This Week in Blizz, we will be covering all of Blizzard Entertainment's IPs. It's going to be a weekly news show, and it's going to be broken up into StarCraft, World of Warcraft, Diablo 3, and whenever the hell Titan comes out, we'll be talking about that. We'll also be talking about all the Titan rumors, and of course, taking your guys' emails. So if you want to follow us on Twitter, the Twitter is TwibShow, TWIBSHO, and that is it for everything. It's twibshow@gmail.com if you want to send us an email, and it's twibshow.com for our blog, which is still being worked on. It works. You can go there and look at it. It is ugly as sin right now, but it's functional. So I'm working with some buddies. We're going to get it designed looking all pretty and nice. So, yeah, bookmark it. Go follow us on Twitter, and that'll be launching in a week.
And this will be helping this show keep slightly on track with things such as, well, Diablo coming out, and also a little thing that I think we're all still excited for, Blizzard Dota.
Yeah, Blizzard Dota is definitely going to find a home over on that show because we just can't fit that into StarCast. So we'll be talking about all the Blizzard goodies over on This Week in Blizz. So make sure you go check that out, guys. So, anyways, well that does it. That's a show, guys. I am pooped, and I don't think I have ever said I am pooped. I use that saying.
It's a very yuppie thing to say. I must say that my voice is gone.
Yeah, you know, the funny thing is, though, Kyle, the more raspy your voice gets, the sexier you sound, so...
Really? Because I think I'm wearing these headphones here. No, I mean, I sound like I could be doing, like, Stay Frosty, people, sort of, like, is that the beer you ordered tonight? Because this one's sexier.
Okay, we're going to get out of this show before Kyle makes a bigger fool of himself. Big thanks to all of you who left 5-star reviews in the iTunes store. Brandon Kelshimer, I'm probably butchering your last name. Thank you for your 5-star review. It's very nice, especially after the awful 2-star review that we got. I believe this is the first non-5-star review we've gotten in a while, but nonetheless.
They happen. You know, you can't make everyone love you.
No, you can't. This guy really hated me. I don't know why. I don't know what I did to this guy. He likes you, though. He said you're still cool. So... whatever.
That's probably why I'm so cool with it.
Yeah. Anyways, the StarCast.com is the place to go. That has our forums, our archives. You can go buy a StarCast shirt and more. You can catch StarCast live Wednesday nights at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at twitch.tv/StarCastShow. You can email us at starcastshow@gmail.com or call us at 941-882-0281. You can follow us on Twitter at the StarCast. You can follow me at Garrett Art. You can follow Kyle at Kyle Ferguson. LivinPink, what is your Twitter?
At LivinPink SC2.
All right. And you can follow our producer, Patrick, at Patrick Jester, and our editor, Captain Newbing, at Captain Newbing. So go check all of that out. LivinPink, before we go, where are all the fine places people can find you on the internet?
There's also my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/LivinPink. And now I got a YouTube channel, YouTube/LivinPink. And on Facebook, I think it's also /LivinPink.
Nice.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm going to be uploading interviews I did in Columbus really soon. Right now, they're on Girls of StarCraft, but I'd like to put the ones I did on my channel too. So make sure to check that out.
What is the Girls of StarCraft YouTube? I saw them linking stuff today, but I didn't follow it.
Actually, I'm not sure. Oh, here you go.
YouTube.com/Girls of StarCraft. Okay, who the fuck it? So,
the interviews are currently there, so you can go check them out there, but you should still follow my YouTube channel.
Yeah, and if you guys want to know how StarCast got started, well, LivinPink and Brightside interviewed us, and, well, we'll tell you, so go check out their interview. And, well, that'll do it. Kyle, where can people find you when you're not on this show, or our new show that'll be happening soon?
You can find... oh, excuse me. Oh,
there.
This is getting awful now.
Yep.
You can find me over at Biggest Fan Podcast, where you follow the fad that's driving you mad. This week, we're doing the Hunger Games. Maybe not tomorrow, if this keeps up. But, yeah, that'll be recording sometime when this fine voice comes back.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Well, I wish you best of luck. I'm actually going to finish the first book tonight. I don't read often, so that tells you something about how much I'm enjoying the book. So, And before we go, don't forget to check out our sponsor, StarCast Systems, for the best gaming computers you will find anywhere. Again, the code is StarCast and Biscuit. You can only use one, though, not both. And they're still giving you double memory if you use that code and supporting us in the process. So go to doghousesystems.com for your next gaming rig. They're awesome. Thank you, LivinPink, so much for coming on. It was fantastic to see you in person. And I hope to see you at many more MLGs to come. And
I hope so too.
I'm sure we'll see you here again before that. So.
Awesome.
Right,
Thanks for having me. Have a good night.
Coming on. All right, everyone. We'll see you next week with King Octavius. Good night. Good luck. Have fun.
Stay frosty.
Hi StarCast, this is King Octavius, back because I'm not sick anymore, and who better to cover for this week of Pro Player Spotlight than this past Sunday's winner of the MLG Winter Championship in Columbus, Ohio, Marine King, also commonly referred to with his team tag, Marine King Prime. Marine King, a famous Terran player from Team Prime, is one of the more unique and powerful Terran players on the scene. Though he's been in and out of Codes throughout his SC2 career, until the most recent MLG he hasn't gained any big first-place victories besides the first Arena of Legends, which was pretty small. Marine King, who is such a fan of famed player Boxer that he changed his own name to Boxer at one point, is one of the most loved Terran players among StarCraft 2 fans, and is the favorite player of our very own Garrett, as well as GSL Code caster Wolf, for 3 reasons: his unique playstyle, his immense skill, and his passion. Marine King favors his namesake unit, the Marine, but on a more general level, he has the uncanny ability to make any unit composition work regardless of his opponent's units. I've seen this guy use mass Marines against mass Banelings and mass Hellions against mass Roaches, with success. He's able to pull things like this off due to his unit control, which, at least among Terran players, is unmatched. Additionally, his ability to use practically whatever unit combination he feels like allows him to catch players off guard, as he did in the MLG Grand Finals against Dongre Gu in one game, where he used a Marine Marauder Banshee mix, which is anything but orthodox against Zerg. Finally, as for his passion, Marine King has been known to cry after losing games, something that is not unheard of in the world of StarCraft 2, but that is more rare on the Code A and Code S stages, where it has been known to occur with Marine King. This is a player who truly pours everything he has into the game of StarCraft 2. Regardless of his relative lack of major SC2 championships, there's no doubt that he commands some of the most raw skill among all players. The MLG Winter Championship was a long-deserved high-profile championship victory for the player, and it's extremely doubtful that it'll be his last. I'm King Octavius, this has been Pro Player Spotlight, and if you haven't already, please check out my book, The Year in StarCraft 2 2011, which you can find out more about at yearinsc2.com. Until next week.